Dad is the crazy raging Trumper of our family, but my mom has been silently participatory in it, and that has been more painful and damaging for me. I haven't talked to either of them since the night before the inauguration. For anyone who didn't watch that previous video all the way through, my dad, who is a World War II history buff, would not admit the Roman salutes were Roman salutes. I told him he needs to really step out of his bubble and take a look at things, and he said, "You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?" Which, like, I don't know what do you even say to that? Like, that's the way it works. Like, you want your kids to be better than you. So yes.
Okay, so you basically answered this question then. Yes, you do. You in fact think you are better than your parents, right? That's the reality of the scenario here. You, even though you attempt to give somewhat of a caveat, I'm not sure that even matters in the context of things here. She basically also dictates that the father himself needs to step outside of a bubble. Interesting. I get it. The bubble that she is in is telling her that she is morally superior to anyone that thinks any differently than she. Guys, this is disgusting. Let's continue.
Somehow my brother and I ended up the way we are. My mom has always claimed to be apolitical, even though socially she's probably even more bigoted than my dad. My mom didn't need to be indoctrinated by Fox News to become a racist, bigoted, misogynistic pick-me. She just hides it really.
Pick-me. The married woman is a pick-me. Okay, so I think we're kind of getting exactly who she is here. She's obviously been inundated by some random university, let's say, that has taught her to be exactly how she is here. Like, listen, I understand I'm highly educated, right? But the difference between that is I grew up at a time where we were not being bombarded with, whatever random social justice, bit of nonsense that's being injected, let's say, at the time. Basically.
News to become a racist, bigoted, misogynistic pick-me. She just hides it really well, which is why she is more damaging to me than my dad. And this has a huge overlap with the conversation about emotionally immature parents and that sort of thing, because a lot of people will talk about having like overtly abusive, angry, whatever parents. Like, my dad definitely falls into that category, not physically, but definitely emotionally, verbally, for sure, 100%. But the way my mom abuses her kids is by manipulating them. It's by taking on behaviors that make it look like she's a loving parent. But if you do what she perceives as a slight, she will flip out. The night before the inauguration, I told my dad I cannot associate with fascist sympathizers and apologists. And I meant that. I 100% meant that. Like, that's actually, the fact that you cannot see that this is what it is actually makes this decision very easy for me, because you are so far gone that I really don't have to question whether not ever talking to you again is the right decision.
Yeah, I can definitely tell you her parents did a terrible job raising her, guys. The fact that you have the ability to put something over your parents is wild to me, bro. Like, what times are we in? I've never experienced anything like this in my life, guys. Not large scale, at least, right? I mean, it seems like everyone is having the same exact kind of experience within their household, because politics has become like life in general. Like, that's all that it is. There's nothing more than I feel this way about this, so if you feel indifferently, you're wrong. And understand, this is coming from both sides of the table here, but I definitely think it's more likely to come from the overly emotional, empathy oriented, egalitarian oriented type of people like she is, right? This is just who she is, what she is. I'm not sure that she's going to have the ability to kind of escape this, but I'm sure within 10, 20 years, when she realizes this is ridiculous, depending on how the country continues to go, if we consistently try to maintain this victim Olympic type of scenario, then I think we're going to probably get more of these stories here. It's interesting. I do have a similar story. This is kind of why I'm saying I've never heard of this at such a large scale. Everyone is experiencing kind of the same thing, right? Like, if you feel differently, you're evil, right? And so I have another channel here, MrLboyd discusses, where I made a video specifically talking about my family no longer wanting to deal with me because I had no interest in, loaning my vote out to someone else's problems, guys. It's not a thing here. I cannot, right? I'm not going to vote for someone. And of course, guys, look at the color of my skin. Pretty much by default and definition that most likely my family is going to be heavily Democrat, right? It is. That's the reality here. Heavily Democrat. The majority of my family would benefit specifically from all of the things, because I can count on one hand how many guys I have in my family, right? So, all right, just understand that specific point right there. Hopefully, I don't want to dig too deep, but I do, like I said, I do have the video on my other channel. You guys go ahead and check that out, right? If you want to see that. But here's the thing. There are issues here. I definitely feel bad for the parents for having to deal with such an ungrateful child. I'm just honest here. The fact that you are like verbally out loud because of a difference in political affiliation, dictating that your parents are terrible, you don't like your mother because she's a pick me. Are you serious? Like, she's saying all of the buzzwords, using like, random psychology words. Guys, come on. When did everyone become a psychologist? Either way.
Sidebar, when I said that, I can't associate. He said, great, now you made your mother cry. Good job. So just so you know what we're dealing with. 3 days later.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep stopping here, guys. Yeah, you probably did. You made your mother cry. Just so we know who we're dealing with. I don't understand.
Just so you know what we're dealing with. 3 days later, like nothing ever happened, my mom texted our group chat with me, my fiance, my dad, my mom, and my brother, and was like, hey, we're going to be in town for whatever doctor appointment. Do you want to all get lunch? And all I said was, I do not associate with fascist sympathizers. Which, by the way, was she crying when she heard that the first time, or did she not cry? You're just saying that to make me feel bad? Or was she, and now she's just pretending like it never happened? All of these things are like probably the truth. Anyway, because I said that, she flipped out in this group chat with all of my most loved ones. All the things we've done for you, this is too far, blah, 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 blah. Mom, you voted for him. You've claimed to be apolitical. You've listened on the phone while I've basically cried to you that if we ever wanted to have a kid living in South Carolina, I could fucking die. And she's like, oh,
So your point of voting for women to just delete their babies willy-nilly, let's say, is for a tiny percentage of an exception. That's what you're. Oh my God, I hate people like this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be nice here, bro. I just can't. I can't, bro. All right, I can't.
And she's like, oh, I had never thought about it that way. And you claim to be apolitical, but these things, you hear the sadness, the fear in your children, both me and my brother, and it doesn't register to you. It registers when you feel like your kids are being taken away from you, though. And your idea of bringing your kids back into you is to insult me and embarrass me in this group chat. So this overlap of toxic politics and families falling apart, I feel like they were probably toxic even without the political infiltration a lot of times.
Yeah,
the things that made the family members toxic are what makes them drawn towards MAGA. So much more peaceful not having to deal with any of that.
Oh my. That was a rough one, bro. That was incredibly rough. That was disgusting, guys. I'm just trying to, let me just sit here and hear this. I strongly think the parents failed. Okay. You should have known, you should have been able to hear your kids speaking in a specific manner and realized immediately. First of all, I don't know where this is, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess California. Okay, because she sounds a lot like California, Oregon, Washington State. She sounds a lot like that. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that specifically. She just sounds a lot like that. She doesn't sound like she's from a place that likes freedom, unless this is one of these maybe they lived in an area specific. She mentioned South Carolina, and South Carolina likes freedom. So I don't know, one of those weird places. You're not better than your parents, bro. Okay, you're not. They made you, bro. All right, listen, I get it. The student should be better than the teacher at some time, right? But you're saying these things out. There's some things that you don't say specifically out loud, right? This is why I'm concerned with who raised you, right? Who raised you? I'm telling you, if any of my kids decided one day to come home and start speaking like this person, like this woman is speaking, I don't want to misgender her. I don't know. Either way, I would never allow this to persist at all for more than a couple hours until I'm taking them out of school and homeschooling. If that makes any sense, right? I don't want whatever nonsense ideology is basically being shared between kids in your peer group is no longer acceptable in this household. I'm sorry, there is none of this outside influence is going to come in and infect this household. Not happening. This is crazy, guys. But everyone runs their house differently. Let's just say that here. Okay, let's just say that. But all right, listen, guys. You guys all have an absolute guys. Wait, I can't even let this go, bro. Wait a second. This is a lot. Another issue here. Why are you worried so much about exceptions? If you have a baby in South Carolina, you're most likely completely fine. Okay. Because again, why are we dwelling specifically on the minutia? Why are we doing that? Like, what benefit does it give to you? Just so you can have some, I don't know, so your chat groups can all feel better? Well, what is this here? It's nonsense, bro. Is we cannot make this country better dwelling in exceptions. Exceptions. You have a baby in South Carolina, you're going to be fine. Relax. What's wrong with you?